Thanks, Reyes. Good morning. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. The Surrey School District is admitting to an email fail, and the Office of the Privacy Commissioner is now looking into the incident. The grades of 250 students have been sent out to all parents in one high school. The school also sent out a follow-up email asking parents to delete the memo. Meantime, report cards have not been deemed an essential service, so teachers will not be required to complete them. And that means thousands of students will not be receiving them as the dispute drags on. An important reminder this summer for parents or anyone who has kids over to their home: child-proof your windows and balconies. Greg Harper joins us live from BC Children's Hospital in Vancouver with more on this. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. This was a really big problem last year. Actually, it's been quite a problem for several years. And to begin this summer, both the BC Ambulance Service and BC Children's Hospital are appealing to parents. On average, every year over the past 5 years, 18 kids either fall from out a window or from a balcony. And in some cases, these accidents are fatal ones. Officials say windows need locks. Screens are simply not good enough. And because toddlers are good climbers, chairs and planters should be kept away from windows and on balconies as well. It's also recommended that parents talk to their children about the dangers of opening and playing near windows.
They're opening their windows too wide. We recommend that there's no window that should be open more than 4 inches, and those windows need to have a little safety lock on them, just something you go get at the hardware store. It's not to keep burglars out, it's to keep children from pushing the windows open and tumbling out.
It's children between the ages of 1 to 6 who are most at risk of falling. Earlier this month, a child did fall from an open window. Fortunately, only suffered minor injuries. Jody?
It is a great reminder for parents and those who have kids over to their home, no question. Thanks so much. Greg Harper reporting live for us this morning from BC Children's Hospital. ICBC is highlighting the worst places for collisions in 2013. And on and off ramps seem to be causing the most trouble for drivers. Knight Street and Southeast Marine Drive was one of the worst spots for drivers, with 230 crashes reported. The place you're most likely to get into an accident in the Lower Mainland is at Willingdon and Highway 1 in Burnaby. ICBC estimates there was nearly 1 crash a day in that spot last year. Other high crash areas include the ramps at Burnett and Highway 1, as well as Gallardi and Highway 1.
Many of those accidents are probably rear-enders when you're looking at on-ramps and off-ramps. And we'd ask that people just pay attention, stay off their cell phones, don't follow too closely, follow the signage, pay attention to the rules of the road, and be courteous of other drivers. I think we'd see a lot of those numbers be reduced.
There's concern for the safety of cyclists in Victoria. Police have issued a warning after a fishing line was strung up across a popular bike route. No one was hurt, but a cyclist was injured a few blocks away last year by electrical tape. Police are reminding cyclists to wear helmets and use proper stop procedures. The BC College of Dental Surgeons is continuing its crackdown on illegal dentistry. After getting tips from the public, college investigators raided 2 homes in East Vancouver yesterday, this one on 34th Avenue and another not far away on 38th. The college has carried out a series of raids on illegal dentists, starting with Dr. David Wu last year. After no showing for court appearances, the Burnaby man was arrested eventually in Toronto and given 3 months in jail. A man killed in South Surrey last week has been identified as a well-known con artist. 52-year-old Timothy Sabolsi was found dead in his home Friday. Born in Manitoba, he used different identities to commit fraud. In 2009, he was convicted in Texas after posing as a doctor. In 2012, he married Delta realtor Sherry Brown after lying to her about playing in the NHL. Brown appeared on the Dr. Phil show back in March, saying he bilked her out of $50,000 before she ended the relationship. International news now. The president of Egypt says he will not interfere in the court rulings of 3 Al Jazeera journalists, including 1 Canadian, just 1 day after they were sentenced to 7 years in prison. The case has sparked an international outcry, but the president is urging people to stop criticizing the courts. The Canadian government is also being blasted for not intervening. Egyptian-Canadian Mohamed Fahmy and 2 colleagues were convicted of spreading lies while reporting for the network. Witnesses say 60 more girls and women, as well as 31 boys, have now been abducted by extremists in northeast Nigeria. This video shows security forces arresting 500 Boko Haram members last week. When the group kidnapped 200 schoolgirls in April, it was feared they were abducting them to marry them off to their rebels. The fate of those girls who remain captive appears to have reached a stalemate.